we just hit it? I'll just do the intro and then we'll jump into it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to Skol Chat with Skota. We are a chat group created by four guys who are a blended family, not only through the traditional familial means, but also for the love of the game, specifically for our favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings. We won't claim to be professionals, nor will we cover a lot of stats unless it is specific to the topics we'll be discussing. We are just four fans who get together to basically discuss all aspects of the team, from games, training, releases, signings, and the overall organization itself. Our name is derived from two of us who currently reside in Minnesota, and two of whom reside deep within Packer territory. This is not our livelihood, as we, like many of you, have busy lives, and what we hope to obtain are additions to our blended family by having you become a part of it. We have room to add a couple of you at a time during our airings and would like you to join us in our chat. As with any family, there will be happy times and sad times to be discussed and experienced. Although the game may only last a season, the desire for the game and the team is year-long. If you want to join us, please hit the subscribe button, follow us on YouTube, and give us either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on your experience, and leave us a comment. If you'd like to join us during the show, contact us at the email link provided below.
Everybody, welcome to Skol Chat 34. Tonight, we're just going to talk about some of the free agent signings, some of the restructures, some of the, free agent re-signings, some possible trade discussions. We'll talk about some of the NFL activity, some of the signings that are going on, big name signings, throughout the league. We'll talk about some players that are still out there that might be possible Viking signings. But before we get into it too much, just if you like what you see here, like, subscribe. We have our YouTube shorts that we'll continue to put up as we have material, and we'll continue to post audio and video on Spotify. With that, I lied. I did find a couple of memes while we were talking. So we'll start with that, and then we'll jump into the cuts. We'll talk about the players of Vikings cuts just to get under their salary cap. But has Tua signed with anybody?
I thought Tua did sign with somebody.
Really? That's not that chick that was famous for a while, right? Talking about a football player. The Hawk too.
I mean, I would wear that helmet just around the house, just in case. You never know.
We get Donkey Kong.
I did stupid helmet.
Oh, yeah. No, it's good. That's funny. I remember that.
So let's jump into the players that were cut to help get low the salary cap. So should I just read off my list, or do you just want to throw it out there with, the players you saw? All right. Well, we figured Hargrave would get cut. Allen was cut as well.
Yeah.
That was kind of a surprise for me.
Yeah, me too.
Initially, they did cut Aaron Jones, and we'll talk about him a little bit later. And they made it official that they cut Harrison Smith today. That came across, but that's still not. There's not saying that he won't come back.
Yeah,
I think they're just.
I think it actually said the one thing I was reading that he's still considered those futures.
Must be.
Yeah.
It has to do with probably salary, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like the player count on your roster at a certain date or what it might be, but without knowing, that kind of restricts them and like maybe possibly signing a free agent or drafting somebody. But I guess they're just gonna do business as normal and that's all you can do and expect him not to be back. I mean, you're just gonna have to continue forward.
Yeah.
And you mentioned somebody, and that's all I had for cuts. Was there anybody else I missed?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Not that I could think of for cuts.
And Ryan Kelly did retire. You mentioned, Tom. But if he had that Tua helmet, he might have been able to play another year.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have had so many concussions, Yeah,
it's just so weird how some people are so like inclined to get them and others aren't. I don't understand the science of that.
Yeah.
He had 10 years in, so that's quite a bit of
back to back
for 10 years, 4-time Pro Bowler. So he stuck through quite a bit.
Just had a back to back.
Yeah.
And I know there's like space in your like your cranium, like in between your brain and your no, like your cranium. I mean, there's space in between, and then there's
Yep.
fluid in between. I mean,
Yep.
but I just wonder if there's more space between some people's brains, and or maybe the space is helpful. I don't know. I got to read up on it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I need you to re-say that in English, if you would, please.
In baseball, they won't allow more for professional baseball. You can't have more than 3 concussions.
I didn't know that.
That's
Nice.
why my nephew couldn't play professional.
See, I'm pretty sure the Guardian helmet helps that.
Yeah,
A lot of the teams started playing. Just,
exterior.
yeah, just like the Packers, they donated helmets to our kids' school. Promising. They donated a bunch of Guardian helmets for the football team.
Yeah, that's but they just use it for practice.
Yeah,
Well, Romeo Dobbs was it for the Packers wore one, and I mean, I wonder how much weight it adds to your head. I mean, you get a helmet on, and then you have that extra layer on, and
Yep.
it's got to be doing some neck exercises to keep up with that. Which, I mean, most people don't work out their neck. I mean, they used to have that machine though, like back in the day, like sit there and just do head bobs with it. Also, there was possible trade discussions with the Patriots. I heard the Vikings fielded some calls regarding Grenard and Addison, where again we'll talk about wide receiver depth. But I mean, they lost, and I guess I shouldn't get into it too far. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But, I mean, Grenard, if they could get a first round pick, I mean, I don't know. Would you be willing to trade Grenard? I mean, because
they might.
Diamond Dallas Turner, at one end, and then they have the Gingster at the other end, outside linebackers. I mean, so do they need Grenard? Again, it helps having a 3-man rotation or a 4-man rotation, but
Right.
and I guess they were saying again, I guess we'll talk about too. I guess there's just so many pieces, moving parts. Yeah. There are players though that are still out there that the Vikings chose not to resign or haven't resigned yet, and that includes Jeff Okudah, Justin Skol, Carson Wentz, Fabian Moreau, Matt Nelson, John Wolford, Brett Rippon, Ty Chandler, and Ben Sims. I mean, I heard that Carson Wentz might be a shoo-in to be at least come and compete at training camp, but there's been no movement. And again, they might do what they did last year and just wait till after the draft and see if he still hasn't been signed and sign him then. Any other player I mentioned though that you would like to see back? I know Justin Skol, and early in the season, like when he was being plugged into play, I mean, he was terrible. He was a turnstile, but he did play better at the end of the year when he wasn't.
Yeah. But if we had the option for somebody a little more could do the job a little better, go for that.
And then I should have kind of had this closer to the cuts, but the restructures, you mentioned Hawkinson, Tom was restructured his deal, has 1 year left now after this. Jefferson, Darrisaw both restructured their deals.
Yep.
So the deal restructured though with Jefferson, that's a positive for him with remaining with the team, hopefully, in their future plans. So
And then you had Aaron Jones.
yeah, so he re-signed after getting cut, which that just came out today, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean there's a big difference in pay there. I mean, you went from 9 million to 5.5. Only guaranteed 5.
Look at it.
There's sunshine.
Hello. Get rid of all those sites you shouldn't have probably been on. You get your computer working again. Get them all closed out.
You were watching videos of the Bears again, weren't you? I knew it this whole time.
I was playing replay of you.
I was watching videos. That's what crashed it. Watching YouTube videos. So the Vikings did re-sign players from last year. So they re-signed Eric Wilson, which is good to see. That's the one player for sure I wanted back.
Yeah, Bernard wasn't, he was pretty decent, I thought.
Well, yeah, I was hoping they would re-sign Wilson because, but on top of that, they also re-signed Ivan Pace.
Yeah.
So basically, and I kind of broke it down. So the full re-signings are Eric Wilson, Andrew DePaula. Those are 2 full re-signings. They did re-sign Jalen Redmond, Bo Richter, and Xavier Scott because they have exclusive rights, meaning that whatever they offered them, they have to take pretty much. So right of first refusal is Ivan Pace Jr. So if somebody offers him something, the Vikings can match it, I guess. And then there was full resign. I don't know if full resign Tavier Thomas. Tavier Thomas did resign too. And then Aaron Jones did resign. And we talked about earlier that he did take quite a bit of a pay decrease to resign. for the year.
Yeah.
Much less did he take? I didn't catch that.
For Jones,
Yeah, for Jones.
Yeah.
he did about 4.5.
Went down from 10 to 4.5.
No, he went down from 9 million to a guaranteed 5. He
Okay.
could potentially get 5.5, but that's a heck of a cut. I mean,
It's not chump change.
no,
Nearly.
Hawkinson even took, a pretty good cut too, but I don't know exact numbers on that. I mean,
I just heard.
his contract saved the Vikings 5 million on their cap for the year.
Yeah, they probably
Well,
did the re-sign and paid it out as bonus, so you got a bunch of guarantee probably.
well, yeah,
Probably.
it said something about they figure out whatever was sign-on bonus or bonus anyways. But what I heard, what the Vikings were trying to get him to renew the contract, gold 10 million less, but I guess they agreed on 5 million less than what his contract would have. So that's what I heard. I can't say if it's God's truth,
So a couple former players that signed elsewhere. So we got Speedy Naylor signed with the Raiders,
Yeah, that's no good.
and Ryan Wright signed with the Saints.
Yeah,
I don't know
what
if
the hell did he get? He got
Ridiculous amount.
yeah.
I heard the Vikings. I heard the Vikings like offered him something, and like he's preferred the Saints offer.
Well,
That sucks. I mean, we he did a good job for us, so we had him. So
Yeah.
now we got to find somebody else. Hopefully
At least
not
we got
some
the-
punter like a kicker like Walsh. They're gonna really screw you over at the worst times of the game.
Well, at least we got the field goal kicker and the long snapper, right? So we've got 2/3 of the equation. I think, and I know there's some not good punters, and we've had a couple of them with the Vikings over the years, but I mean, I think it's a lot easier to find a good punter than it is to find your good kicker.
Yeah.
Although with Naylor, and we kind of touched on it a bit earlier, that really hurts their depth. Receiver.
Yeah, huge hit to us. If they do talk any trades, but like Addison or whatever, we're really
Yeah, so if they're gonna trade Addison, they have to have a signing or something else in conjunction with that.
yeah.
All right. Before we move on, because I was just gonna touch on some of the active teams and some of the other signings that I saw that I thought were kind of crazy. Any other thoughts on what we talked about so far, as far as the cuts, the restructures, signings? Anyone sitting out there that's was on the team that still hasn't signed that we might want to come back?
No, nothing other than I brought up, the Cardinals letting Kyler Murray go. Now he'll be out there for grabs.
Yeah.
He's going through his process, like more or less interviewing different teams, whoever wants or interested in him. Got the Steelers, Cleveland, and other, as well as the Vikings. There was a couple other ones that the Jets won't be looking for him because they traded for Geno.
Yep. Geno
Okay.
Smith. Yep. So they took him out of the equation.
Well, your buddies at Purple Daily are saying that the Vikings are expected to host Kyler Murray for a physical.
I don't know. I haven't been.
No, that was the news within the last half hour. He's good. Yeah, well, so I see that he's going to visit the Vikings tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, he waited. Actually, he played. Murray played it by the book. Today is when the new league year started. So
So I guess he's coming tonight to take the physical and then meet tomorrow.
That must-
likely. So I keep saying that. So I guess there's nothing set in stone. So I guess we'll see it tomorrow or later on tonight. We'll see the news.
yeah.
Yeah. So if he chose to come here first,
I mean-
that's something to it itself.
Yeah, I mean, the first team has to, hopefully we wow them. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, and we can kind of talk about that a little bit towards the end. I just want to go over this stuff here. And I didn't have my banners up. I haven't done anything. All right, there we go. So the teams that I saw that were really active were the Falcons, Bears, Raiders, Lions, Texans, Chargers, Patriots, and Saints. But I saw the Raiders, so they attempted to trade Max Crosby to the Ravens.
Right.
Then they went and signed $230 million worth of contracts. And then the Ravens reneged on the trade for Max Crosby.
Yeah.
The Raiders are sitting there with $230 million in contracts and still have Max Crosby that they were assuming wouldn't be on the team when they're making the deals, and they were making the deals like he wouldn't be there. So we'll see what happens with that. So they might have to, and I guess there were concerns about his, I guess Max Crosby had a knee injury. So he was like recovering from that, rehabbing from that. And I guess there was concerns. But then the Ravens immediately after that went and signed Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals.
Yeah, I heard something about that too, that more likely when owners meeting comes up in, when is it? Whenever the owners meet, that the Ravens will probably get a tongue lashing for their business dealings.
Yeah.
Got the one they did sign, they got him on a hell of a deal, I guess, because him and his agent was asking for like 35, something like that, $1 million contract.
No, it's
And they turned around and noted that there wasn't, he wouldn't get that much. So they offered the Ravens less amount there, than what they originally was asking.
well, I mean, the Bengals, I mean, he let him go off and sign with a division opponent. I mean, but Alec Pierce, the free agent wide receiver from the Colts, he signed a $116 million contract.
Wow, that is crazy.
And they don't really use him that much. I mean, there's games where he doesn't even get a catch. But other times, I think he was like one of the leaders for average for reception last year. When he does make a catch, it's like a 40-yarder. Malik Willis signed with the Dolphins, one of the quarterback options we talked about in previous podcasts, for $67.5 million.
Yeah, the guy only played 10 games.
Which I'm glad we didn't pay money like that. I mean, that's
No.
Cousins' money.
That's why I couldn't understand why, like, on Purple Daily, they kind of advocate for him. And it's like, but he's played the same amount of games that McCarthy did.
Well,
Granted, the last games that he played for Green Bay, he played better than what he did where he was originally, who drafted him. But still, the idea is, I don't know, 10 games? Yeah.
well, so remember back in the 90s, remember the quarterback the Lions signed, Scott Mitchell?
Yeah.
So he was a backup quarterback. I think Dan Marino got hurt like halfway through the season. And so then he played a few games. And then I think the Vikings were in on like trying to get him back during that time. They ended up signing with the Lions for like a big contract at the time. But you know which team he played for? Well, obviously I said Dan Marino. So he played for the Dolphins. So it's funny that the Dolphins are then now signing this guy that barely played to a large contract.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, Scott Mitchell had Herman Moore, Johnny Morton. I mean, just a couple, pretty good receivers back then, and still didn't play that well. So, and they had Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
Your buddy Tyler Linderbaum, the center, signed with the Raiders. One of the big $230 million contracts the Raiders signed for $81 million. Linderbaum signed for. And this might pose well for the Vikings. Kenneth Walker signed with the Chiefs for $45 million, the MVP of the Super Bowl. And Travis Etienne signed a $52 million deal with the Saints.
Wow.
So that just might be helpful for the Vikings in the draft, and possibly drafting Jeremiah. What the world needs now is more love.
Well, there's who the hell was it? Oh, it's brought up. I think it was Purple Insider. The only one that might be in the way is, God willing, the Browns won't go for that, for the running back. There was a team, was it the Steelers, maybe? Whoever picks up there around 10 or between 10 and 15. See, at one point, we're thinking that the Chiefs would go for him, but now that the Chiefs got their guy.
Well, the Steelers did sign Rico Dowdle from the Panthers.
Okay.
So
well, there was somebody in there that.
Well, I'm not saying that doesn't, take them out of the running. But I mean, with the Vikings now signing Aaron Jones again.
Yeah.
And they have Jordan Mason. And then they are also re-signing Xavier Scott. But I think Xavier Scott's more of a special team kind of signing more so than a actual play, every once in a while. But I mean, if you could draft, again, we talked about it. Do you draft need or you draft the best player available? If he's available,
I mean,
I can
it's,
pick.
you want a fresher, younger, fresh, running back, especially,
Well, yeah.
like you said, we have Xavier Scott, but we're going to get 1 year out of him, more year if he stays healthy the whole year.
Yep.
Question there, if he stays healthy.
Right.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm assuming that if they don't sign someone, that Jordan Mason's going to start because you have to limit Jones's touches because, he just can't stand up the whole game or be a starting running back anymore.
Right.
He does. I mean, there is a spark when he's in there and he's healthy.
Yeah.
But, once he gets dinged up, that first ding up in the game, he's going to
reserve him for when the defense is getting a little bit tired.
Yeah, and he's only 30, 31 pounds.
But in NFL years, and especially running backs, I mean, once they're over 30, they just fall off.
Really? I guess I
Yeah.
haven't paid attention to that, but I was just like, man, he's only 31. So
Like
I mean,
your brother's team, they had Ezekiel Elliott. He was like, they signed him to a major contract. I think he had a good rushing season after 1 year after that contract.
man, I didn't really follow. I know of him, but I don't really follow him much,
But again, what helps Jones is that he was kind of always sharing duties. Even when he was with the Packers, he was sharing the backfield. He wasn't always, but he always seemed to get hurt. But when he's healthy, he offers
Good to
something.
go.
Yeah.
Any other big news or big moves, I guess I would say, and big signings that caught your eye?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. How about you, Daniel?
Myself, I could hear something or whatever, but the name don't stick in my head, like,
Yeah. No, I know. Same here.
I guess
It's
I had
fun.
to hang a couple fly strips up on my head so whatever I hear or whatever will stick to it. Yeah.
I thought I saw him selling those new AI antennas.
Guess Boye Mafe signed with the Bengals for $60 million. He played for the Gophers. There's that. Yeah, like you're saying, like the names, like you hear the names and they don't stick. It's like I don't even know half these players. I used to know like pretty much every player in the NFL, like back when I was like in high school, but I don't hardly know any of them.
Life.
That's like you have to keep up take up your important stuff, like your kids' birthdays, who your insurance company is, that type of stuff. Where before, I guess I could dedicate it all to just NFL players or basketball players.
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs though signed with the Patriots, the ex-Packer. And I talked about Daniel Jones signing that 2-year contract with the Colts. Stephon Diggs is still out there. And his brother, as far as I know, last I checked, his brother is still available too. He had issues, cornerback, had issues with the Cowboys. So this must run the family. So yeah, Kirk Cousins is still out there. I haven't heard any news on him. Nobody's brought him up with the last few days. And then Anthony Richardson still trade talks or, people talking about trading for him. Other teams have been thrown in the mix. And there's been talks about like moving him to a different position. Kind of like how, what was that player for the Saints the past few years?
The quarterback that played in trick plays for.
Yeah, Peyton something. The Mormon Missile. I don't know what. Yeah, it's Peyton something, right?
I'm talking.
For Sean Payton.
Yeah, he would put him in there.
Taysom Hill. It was Taysom Hill. There we go.
Yeah.
Because he still plays for him. Anyways.
We got a countdown to the draft yet?
Yeah, we got to start studying up on players. We kind of talked about it, like the Vikings wide receiver depth and now the running back depth. I mean, the wide receiver depth is still kind of questionable. They're gone. So I don't know. Are they going to sign somebody? They're going to draft somebody? I mean, if they do draft anybody, I'm assuming it's going to be a later round draft pick.
Yeah, it all depends what they're going to do, Well, the Vikings got one of the corners. I don't know how many corners they want. Are they going to? They haven't signed any other defensive tackles.
Other than Jalen Redmond. Did I even mention that they signed James Pierre?
No, we didn't talk about it. I just remembered that too.
Yeah, so he was with the Steelers, and he looked like more of a spot starter and a special teamer. So he's played there 4 or 5 years. So I'm wondering if they expect him to be a third corner, step up, or what. But I don't imagine that they're going to be done adding cornerbacks. But Isaiah Rodgers, speaking of quarterbacks, he tweeted something big was about to happen on Wednesday. So I'm not sure what that was. I haven't really seen anybody go back to that, or was the Kyler Murray coming to the Vikings the big thing he was talking about? Because he used to play. Did he play for the Cardinals, or was he just friends with Kyler?
I think he just played with because he was drafted by the Colts and he got in trouble there
That's right. Yeah.
gambling. Then he went to the Eagles after.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why didn't I remember that?
hey, I remember something.
You get the gold star.
I just
Yeah.
got
So
part of the brain that came from.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look at that side.
the medulla oblongata. There's something wrong with your medulla oblongata, Colonel Sanders. My mama says the alligator's so angry it's got all them teeth and doesn't have a toothbrush. Have you heard any good or any other news about draft? I didn't do a mock draft lookup. Have you heard anything new? Any names thrown out there?
The only thing I heard that was kind of interesting, I guess on television, what's his name? Daniel Jeremiah, I think
Yeah.
it was him. And he floated right out there. Yeah. He goes, I would like to see the Vikings move up and draft Love. And it's like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so it must have been the Titans, maybe, for Love.
Yeah, the Titans, and then I don't know about the Browns. Knowing them, they'd be, wouldn't put past them, I don't know who else it would be.
Look at the Rams on there. I mean,
Well, the Vikings pick at 18. This is teams that are picking before the Vikings.
yeah, that's what I was looking at. The Dolphins, right? I mean, they lost Eddie N. I don't know. I'm looking at a site that compiles them. It's kind of like the mock draft database. 52% of the mock drafts so far have the Vikings drafting Dylan Thieneman, the safety from Oregon,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't be opposed to that, but he's not the splashy Jeremiah Love that you got me on.
Well, it'd definitely be interesting, but I don't know. I don't think the Vikings are going to go crazy with their draft, because look, you have to trade the 18, of course, to move up to wherever, and then probably some pick this year yet, some later round, then throw in a second round pick next year's draft. That'd be kind of spinny, especially if, you want to get, beef up the O line and beef up the D line and, of course, the back end of the defense. So I don't know. It would shock me if the Vikings do move up and go after Love.
Well, how many? We talked about it previously. They got 8 picks. The only round they're missing a pick in is round 4.
Okay.
Well, one in round 1, one in round 2, and 2 in round 3.
Well,
And
then there was talk too that the Vikings, move back and pick up some more picks,
the old Spielman strategy.
Yeah.
He didn't like it unless he had 12 picks.
Yeah, it seemed like he had to have at least that many.
All right. We kind of hit on it, but are there any free agents out there that you thought would be a good fit or you've heard that Vikings might be interested in?
No, not really.
Like I said, I haven't heard that the Vikings be interested in anybody, but some other people had their lists of free agents that they kind of hope for or think the Vikings ought to go for, but I don't remember the names of the lists and whatever, Hopefully she doesn't blurt out loudly their favorite word.
It's all our favorite word, isn't it?
I dropped her off at the day center today. I said, "Go, you could drop you off and you could play with the other kids."
Any other thoughts that we want to add up?
No, I don't have nothing.
Let's see what happens with the quarterback situation here.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to get something set in stone, but I doubt it's going to be anytime soon. Drag it out as long as I can.
I think they'll pull the trigger on it as quicker if they can. If they've got the candidate they want, they'll pull the trigger right away.
Well, it all depends, what they offer. If it's Murray, all depends what they offer him, And, they really don't have to pay him above
League
much
minimum.
of what is it? Veterans backup, 1.4 or something. 1.4 or 1.5 or something like that.
That low?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they got guaranteed money still coming to them, it's the same what Russell Wilson did when Denver cut him. He went and signed a 1 year, $1.5 million or whatever. Same with Rodgers. He didn't when the Jets let him go. And so Murray, he's got guaranteed still. And, but it all depends what he wants.
Well, yeah, if there's other teams though in the mix, which we talked about. Did you say who traded for Geno?
Jets.
Didn't he play for the Jets?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
He said full circle moment. He called it a full circle moment for his career.
But yeah, so then the Dolphins are out there, even though they signed Malik Willis. But I mean, yeah, so these players, these teams aren't going to trade for a player or sign a player and then sign a backup to a high dollar. So it's all about, like you said, what the Vikings offer. And then after the Vikings figure this out, there'll be probably a few more kind of small dollar signings. That's usually what the Vikings do, let things play out, which is kind of an indicator that Brzezinski might be just holding the fort until they actually do sign that general manager.
Well, it's not going to be till after the draft. So,
well, I know that, but I think just the way he's handled things so far, I thought maybe he'd be the front runner for that. I don't know. I think I kind of like him to see him there in the position. He's been with the team for almost 20 years, I think. How many?
27, I think. 25 for sure, but
you know what? I was bamboozled. I saw a Photoshop picture of Rob Brzezinski from back in the day, and somebody Photoshopped a mullet on the back of him. And I just see the picture right now, and he doesn't have a mullet. They got me again.
Yeah, those were in for a minute, and then they came back. What, 2 years ago they came back?
Oh, it's like tricked me again. I just lost $30 million sending it to the Prince of Nigeria.
And start looking a little heavier on the draft.
I think we probably got everything covered tonight. If you like what you see here, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube Shorts, Spotify. If you want to join us for an episode, email us at skolchatwiscota@gmail.com. It will be in the description below. Skol Vikings.
Vikings.
No Vikings.
Go Vikings.